Welcome, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Chad Royer, and welcome to my channel, What's Up with Chad Y. Royer, as I once again talk about my journey as a cancer patient. And here's what's happening. Um, while I discuss what's happening right now on day 94 of having had my stem cell transplant, I want to remind folks to please feel free to share with your folks. And if you haven't done so, please like the videos, subscribe to my channel so you get more notifications. Feel free to comment on your thoughts, questions, anything. I welcome your comments, I welcome your interaction. And right as I'm getting into it, it just so happens to have quite a bit of background noise. I don't know if you're hearing it, but they're drilling and they're cutting and they're drilling and they're cutting and they're drilling and they're cutting. It's quite annoying, but I don't know if the mic will pick it up. I'll do my best to articulate as much as I can. So I want to start this video by wishing a good friend of mine, Tobie B, a happy birthday. It's this weekend. I want to wish Tobie a happy birthday. I hope you enjoy. I know you're going to enjoy. I wish you many more years and thank you for your part in helping me in my healing process. Now, now that I got that out the way, um, Tobie, if you're watching, you better comment. So here we are, day 94, and I have an upcoming appointment next week. They're going to do a bone marrow biopsy and they're going to do a PET scan. Now, the PET scan, what I was told, or at least what I remember, it's a scan of the body to see what's remaining, what presence of the cancer is remaining, and the condition of the bones to see if there are any uh, defects or bruising or lesions or even fractures. It's supposed to see a lot. Now, how do I compare the PET scan to an MRI? I don't really know the difference, but what I did find out, and I did a little bit of reading here. Um, so the difference between a PET scan and an MRI, a PET scan uses a radioactive tracer, and it shows how the organs are working inside the body as it's happening right now. They can look at changes in the body. Uh, the MRI uses magnetic waves and radio waves, magnetic resonance imaging. That's what MRI is. So, from what I'm looking at, this sounds like the PET scan would actually do a better job at looking at what's happening in the body than an MRI. I don't really know. I'm just going by a little bit of what I have read. And this actually helps because I've never had a PET scan, to my knowledge. I haven't had a PET scan done before. That's PET. So in this case, one of the things that I have to undergo is a relative 6-hour fast prior to my appointment. I cannot eat anything. If I have to drink anything, it has to be water or nothing sugary. I will just concentrate on the fast. I will use water to take my meds, and I will just mentally prepare for my appointment, as I always do when it comes to certain procedures such as this. Now, I did more digging. So here it says nuclear imaging, PET scan, and I'm just reading off something. Uses a radioactive substance to create detailed images of the body's organs, tissues, and everything inside. There is something that is injected into the body to create some kind of contrast. And the process, I'm being told, takes about an hour and a half. I'm not quite sure how true that is, but let me just go quickly into some of the things that I cannot do because that's actually listed in my charts. So only water, preferably 32 to 64 ounces of water, 2 hours prior to the appointment. So that means 2 hours prior to the appointment, I cannot take anything, only air. And thank goodness that I am not a diabetic, because if I was a diabetic, there's more instructions that I would have to follow. So one of the things that it tells me, and I'm just reading off here, my last meal before the scan should have high protein foods, plenty of water. I had to avoid hard carbs, high concentration of carbs and sugar 48 hours prior. Uh, I'm not in that predicament with diabetes, so I'm very, very fortunate, but it's still some good information to be aware of. Um, no exercise for 24 hours before your PET scan, as exercise affects the tracer's reading and could cause the results to be inaccurate. I did not know that. I did not know that. This stuff in particular is very new to me, and I'm just sharing with you. Um, and as these appointments are made, they're scheduled in such a way that if someone were to be late for their appointment, they would have to be rescheduled so that everyone else doesn't get backed up. And I can understand. So I'm going to make sure that I get there early. I want to give myself grace time of 15 minutes to a half hour just to be on the safe side. Now, what else do I have to share with you about the PET scans, the process? It's also going to be followed up with a bone marrow biopsy that's going to be done with the doctors after. I'm anticipating that there's going to be a wait time before the doctor is ready. Uh, I'm going to have to prepare to be with the doctors all day, even though my appointment, the times are kind of, they've changed the times a couple of times, and I have to call to verify. So from the time I wake up in the morning at home, that's part of the preparation. I have to have my clothes ready. What I'll probably have to do is make sure that I eat an early breakfast, eat early so I can eat breakfast, and make sure that I have 6 hours minimum of clearance of having no food. And I'll have to make sure that I have my meds at that same time, just to avoid the issue of wanting to have something to drink or to eat. I don't want the results to be skewed. I've come this far. I'm talking about November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July. I've come this far. And the last thing I want to do is mess up this exam. I don't think I will, but I'm not taking that chance. So that's the that big day that's coming up. And I ask you all to keep me in your thoughts. We will be waiting for the results of the tests that we take in July, including the one earlier this week. This will determine my remission status as a cancer patient, and it'll predetermine what next steps are with regards to the maintenance phase. So stay tuned. There's more content coming. I will keep you updated. And I thank you all for keeping me in your thoughts. And I thank you all for giving me the opportunity to share my journey with you. I hope you watching, wherever you are able to at least learn and understand something that you haven't understood before. I hope that I can help someone in a similar or worse situation with what I'm bringing forth. Man, I wish this drilling would stop. This drilling has been bothering me all day. But anyway, please continue to support my channel. If you haven't done so, please like, subscribe to my channel, leave comments. I would like to know your thoughts. And take care, be well, and I'll see you next time.